As you kind of start progressing through high school, and like you said, you jump on the scene as a sophomore, you're number three in your class. As you continue to go through your junior, senior year, what was it? College? All was college ever come in the picture, or you wanted to make that jump? And if you wanted to make that jump, what was the reason why?
No, I ain't think about making a jump. I committed early. I committed before my senior year. I committed in November to St. John's. I committed with Mike Jarvis. I was
Mike
following
Jarvis.
Omar Cook for real.
Okay,
I always wanted to play with
a
a
real
dope
point
point
guard.
guard that was like a fast purse
Hmm.
type point guard. So I was following Omar Cook. He wanted to go to North Carolina, but North Carolina chose Adam Boone over him. And when they did that, he decided to go to St. John's. I went on the visit. That was the first time I met Jay Z on the visit. I went Midnight Madness. You know what I'm
And
saying? So
Jay
you
was
know
there.
Midnight
Yeah,
Madness.
that was used to be the
He was
shit.
hosting it. So
Jay Z was.
yeah, Jay
That's
Z was
crazy.
hosting it. So that was the first time I met Jay, and he committed. So I committed early
You was soon.
and rode with him, which I felt it was a good commitment because he led the nation in assists his
Hmm.
freshman year.
Yep.
So yeah, I went with Mike Jarvis. My dream school was Georgetown, but John Thompson he retired right before I
Hmm.
came out.
So what made you decide to decommit and put your name in the draft?
Mike Jarvis and my AAU coach came to me and was like saying that you top five, top 10. Cause I told them they was mentioning it to me, but you know, I'm from the hood. I don't believe in it until I actually see it. You know what I'm saying? So when they was telling me this, I told them I was like, yeah, only way I jump if I go lottery, which lottery was top 12. Cause I just seen Rashard Lewis slip in the draft and how him and his family was looking, I
Yeah,
was
in
like,
the
yeah,
green
I ain't
room.
even gonna play with that. So when they was telling me, and Mike Jarvis, he could have been selfish or not told me nothing. He was keeping it real with me, like, yeah, they talking about you top five, top 10.
Mm.
Then I went on like two workouts, and they was like, yeah, you top three, top five.
Mm. Time to go.
Yeah, it was out.
I've been to East St. Louis with you, and I know how hard it is to come from there. I seen it. You know what I mean? It ain't too much positive stuff going on from there. So I commend you for, continuing to go through the ups and downs. I know what you went through growing up to come out. But what made you choose to come out of high school?
Just the grind of everything. Like me and my mom. My mom is the youngest child out of all my grandmother kids, but I stayed in the house basically my whole life with my grandma and my granddad. I
Hmm.
was like the only kid, cousin or whatever in the family that grew up with my grandmama and granddad that's in the house. So I just seen the struggle and seeing what we was going through and so forth on. And like once they kind of reassured me that I can go lottery, that they kind of confirm it, it was like that's like $4 million that you passing up on just to go to college. They kind of just put it in me, which I was very patient. My mom was very stern. She was like, "Man, we ain't taking nothing from nobody. You don't want to owe nobody nothing." So I felt like I was earning everything that I was getting, and I was killing everything. Like I killed the McDonald's game. I killed the USA game. Like I was one kind of that hybrid from KG. You know what I'm saying? KG was doing more of the power forward thing, but I was the hybrid that was dribbling and playing all the positions, guarding all the positions. So I felt like how people was talking to me like I was a unique player. And Mike even said like, yeah, if I was drafting somebody number one, I'd draft him. Which I was going to Jordan camp every summer, like for 2 weeks, kind of getting that from him. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like a no brainer once they kind of laid it out for me. I was being patient with it. I wasn't trying to like, yeah, I'm going out of high school. I never mentioned it. Never said it. I just let everybody else say it. And it just kind of came to fruition.
You ended up going number three behind Kenyon Martin and Stromile Swift.
Yep.
I think that was in 2000 draft. That was actually my first year in the league because we played in the rookie All Star game
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Coming into that year, how did you feel? Did you think you would go higher than three, or was three right where you want to be?
Yeah. At the draft, they told me it was a 50-50 chance that I can go number one between me and Kenyon because Kenyon broke his leg,
Yeah.
which, you know, I was going to St. Louis U games all the time, especially when they played Cincinnati. Cincinnati, they was all in the USA conference.
He was a fucking monster too in
But
college.
Kenyon senior year, like I think if he didn't get hurt, it wouldn't even been a question. He was gonna be number one because he
That let you know how good he was though. Broke his leg and still with number one.
But also too, he was one of those rare guys that went 4 years too.
Yeah.
Like he was good, but he went all to college all
yeah,
4 years.
Yeah, so his senior year, I watched him his whole senior year. Like he deserved to be number one, but because he got hurt, they questioned, whether he was going to be healthy enough or whether he was going to come back or be right. So it was a 50-50 chance there. Then Vancouver was number 2, and my mom was like, nah, my son ain't going to no Vancouver. So it wasn't no question. So Steve Francis just got picked by Vancouver, and he refused to go. So with my mom saying that, they didn't even play with it. You know what I'm saying? And the Clippers, I never worked out for the Clippers.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I really wasn't planning. Nobody was planning on going to the Clippers. I thought I was gonna get picked by the Bulls. Me and Jerry Cross didn't have too many good meetings, but they still was like, yeah, we still ain't gonna pass up on you. It was a thing about me wearing braids that we kind of had a problem with. Me and my mom. My mom was a big Bulls fan. Coming from Illinois. And she just asked him, like, man, you let a guy wear color in his hair, but you can't let my child wear braids. She didn't want me to go there, but they said they still was going to pick me. So I thought I was going to the Bulls, where Pfizer got picked up.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go to the Rockets, though. I loved Rudy T. I went down there.
ISO ball would have been right there for you.
I wanted to go to the Rockets.
Yeah.
What's that culture shock, though, coming from the neighborhood you grew up in and you get thrown into L.A. as, 17 years old, right?
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was like a whole nother world. LA is like I wasn't used to that much traffic. I wasn't used to that many people being around, how it moved around. It was different. That was the first time being in LA, palm trees, all that stuff. I realized LA is not as hot as, you see on TV. It get cool out there. And it rain in Southern California.
Tony live?
Yeah, so realized a lot of things.
That's what they tell me.
But it was cool because it wasn't like I was getting thrown in the fire as a Laker. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lakers ran the town. It was like earning it. And what kind of relaxed me a lot, like Keon, Corey,
young
and
team,
Q,
real young team,
was all with me. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew all them guys. Like I remember playing against Corey and AAU, running through past Keon. Like all us kind of knew each other from the AAU circuit over the years. So, it just made it an easier transition for me.
I mean, you went to a very, very, very young team. And like you said, Lakers kind of ran the LA side of it, but you guys had a young, exciting team that although you guys didn't win a ton of games, your guys' style and flair was able to kind of captivate the NBA world. So what is that kind of going like? Again, the team wasn't very good, but you guys were kind of becoming stars within that. So what was that transition like for you? Because you were still a teenager.
Yeah, I think we became stars because we was more visible and people can touch us more. Like
y'all was in the streets.
I was going to the Westchester games and Crenshaw games. We was going, like we was all in the mall all the time.
Fox Hills.
Yeah, we was going to every event. We was on different campuses. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all was working after work?
Yeah, we was like we had energy. Like we was moving around LA, and we was like our cars made us stand out. Like I had a Escalade on them gold D's, Honey spoke, and they was like, man, look at that country boy, just riding through it. So it was different when we came out here.
Y'all was shopping with Farouk?
Huh?
You was shopping
with
Farouk?
Yeah, we shop. Everybody shop with Farouk.
Shout out Farouk.
Everybody shop with Farouk. Mess with Dave, all them. You know what I'm saying? It was just different. We was more touchable, but a lot of people be misconstruing it. We was the youngest team ever. Like before we got there, they won 17 games out of 82. Our first year, we won 31. Our second year, we won like 39-40. We was one game out of the playoffs. So I know they be like, yeah, we got our ass kicked. We really wasn't getting our ass kicked. Like it wasn't no cakewalk. We really wasn't getting blown out by teams and all that stuff. Like every year we beat the Lakers. Like we was really progressing, being the youngest team ever assembled. You know what I'm saying? And all our guys are so young. So I know they be like, yeah, they was getting their ass kicked. We really wasn't.
Nah, y'all was in it.
We was coming.
Y'all
You know
was
what I'm
in the
saying? I
mix.
feel like the second year, only reason we didn't make the playoffs because that was John Stockton and Karl Malone really last year with Utah. That was the team that we posed to beat. We had the last 2 games against them in the regular season, and they beat us in LA and in Utah. But I ain't gonna say nothing about the ref, but we knew what it was.
You already know.
You know what I'm saying? We
You
knew
already
what it
know.
was. But we posed to be in there, and we would have played the Lakers the first round.
Ooh,
That's what
1-8.
everybody was talking
Ooh.
about. We just had to win one of them games.
That's it.
But they won both of them, and they wound up being an AC, play the Lakers.